It's a delight to have you join us on Global Morning today. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and we're excited to come your way. Many thanks for being part of the program this morning. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. As a matter of fact, everything is already pointing towards the season, and we are so glad that we are alive today. We're able to see today, and we will keep seeing the days as they come by. You and us in the studio here, of course. Good morning, Priscilla.
Oh, good morning, Ramsey. It's a delight to, have this show this morning with you. Yeah.
It's good to have you in the studio this morning.
Yeah, and also to be on the face or in the face of our viewers. I mean, it's always a delight from my end. Global Morning is that show to start your day. And for me, it sets the tone of my day. So, I'm excited.
Yes, of course. The road is getting dried. In fact, while we're coming, we're saying, why is the road so dry? Unlike before, my axis anyway, where I was coming from, the road was dry because unlike before, as at the time we were out, though it was quite early, but before now, you see people on the road already at that time of the day. But I don't know, something happened today. It's like we had a shorter day and a longer night, because by the time it was past 6 o'clock, the places were still dark. Places were still dark, because unlike before, when I'm walking out of the house, when I'm getting out of the house, you can see that everywhere is bright. But today it was different. I was thinking it could be part of the reason some persons overslept, because some people use the weather to know what the time is. As soon as it's getting bright, they say, oh, let me go and get ready for work and all of that. But then Christmas is around the corner. We're counting days. If not until this morning, I didn't know that, 20th is just like 4 days down the line. And when it's 20th,
Christmas is in the air, and December for me is a special season because it marks my birthday, and it marks my anniversary, and then the Christmas season. So when the December season comes like this, I have all the nostalgia in the world. But then to add to or to comment on what you said, I think it's that time of the year where companies are already closing or shutting.
Yeah, sure.
So some people are already wrapping up for the year at their workplace. You will not get to see a lot of people, if not for the fact that, this is a broadcast house where we work in and out of season. That's the way you see people say, we've closed for the year. And you're like, oh, God. Yeah. Well, it's also exciting, right? To bring you all the news, all the, happenings around the season. So it's celebration season. There is so much joy in the air. I'm excited. Christmas is a beautiful season for me. I look forward to every single year. And I'm sure a lot of people too do so. So why not? Why not? There's everything to be happy about. And for the longer day, shorter night, the geography is something that I've always been interested in. So when I notice that, shift in the air, I'm very conscious about it. I think it's been a while. It's been like that for a while, where you wake up and everywhere is still a bit dark, and all of a sudden it just gets bright, and then it shifts again at some point and it becomes opposite. So if you have been existing, if you are above 30, I don't think it should be something that is new to you, and it's something that your body should adjust to as the season comes. Every season is a blessing, no matter what. This particular season, the Hamatans have, been off and on, because I still get to experience heat at some point, even if it has never really been so. So I don't know. Is it the ozone layer depleting or whatever it is? But there's something different about this Harmattan season. It's not like the usual Harmattan. The cold is not so much as it used to be. And we're looking forward to more, days ahead and see how things unfold. But so far, so good is what I'll say.
Well, I think that's it. But then I'm feeling like this Christmas season, the fair may not, I don't know. But then I'm trying to say this because of what Dangote said yesterday.
Okay.
The fair may not be as high as it used to be. I could remember last year, December, a lot of people didn't even talk of traveling But some travel because for some it's compulsory. They don't mind selling all they have to travel for the season. So some people traveled. But this season, this Christmas, it's like a lot of people will be traveling, except for certain reasons. Like my pastor will always say, if you don't have reasons to travel, there is no need traveling. But as a matter of fact, Dangote Refinery and MRS, of course, they are set to begin selling petrol at 739 naira per liter. But then, this is coming 2 days after the refinery slashed its petrol gantry price from 828 naira
so around 699
to 699 naira per liter. This is what it means for me. Some persons may tell you, well, the reduction in price is not so much, but then take for instance, you want to fill your tank and there is a reduction of, even if it is 1 naira, okay, in about 10 places, in about 20 places, you know what it means.
Yes, of course.
But then it is not, he said something, Dangote said something. And this is the area I want the authorities to really look into the situation. And that is where he said, during the press briefing, he had a press briefing, and he was particular about the fact that despite lower pantry price, some filling stations often choose to keep pump price high, you know, thereby sabotaging his effort. I don't know if you understand what that means. He's trying his best, because one of the things a lot of Nigerians celebrated is when Dangote Refinery came. They were like, oh, we won't be taking our crude out of Nigeria to refine anymore, then we'll transport it back, you know, and all of that. Nigeria has been paying so much. Now we have a refinery in the country, and it's been trying, even though there have been battles, because you know how it works in this part of the world. It's like, well, oh, this man has come to take food out of our mouth. You know, we won't be getting the kind of money we're getting before, you know. And he's worried about the fact that some filling stations still sell at a high price, despite the fact that he reduces the price, and he called that a sabotage, that his effort is being sabotaged by this filling station. In a sane country where things are working, I think everyone should be excited that, okay, the pump price of petrol has reduced, and everyone should be happy. But because of the mindset of exploitation and greed, a lot of people can do anything for money. A lot of people can go as far as doing anything for money. And you see people behaving abnormally when it comes to money, sabotaging the effort of some other persons. And that's the same thing Dangote is complaining of right now. Now, who is to be blamed in this situation? Because as a matter of fact, we have regulatory bodies that are supposed to monitor and supervise the activities of these filling stations. But then sometimes they go and, I don't know, there's something has changed. Heads, and nothing is being done apart from some pumps that have been adjusted. We've heard in the past that despite the fact that they are selling at a very high rate, they still adjust the pump. So what you get, if you're buying 10 liters, be sure that you're buying like 9 liters.
Yes, I think it's something that has been in the system for a very long time. The problem is when people build businesses around, you know, you build a structure around greed. You build a structure around ripping people off. That is what you call your business. You would never want to leave that space. When things start to get better, of course, because of the fact that you don't have a structure that is legit, you don't have a structure that, you know, can give you wealth from, you know, a clean source or something, you would never want to allow things to work normally. And that is how it has been in the oil and gas sector in this country. It has been a problem. And I don't know why it has lingered for this long. Like you said, when the Dangote Refinery started, you know, functioning, when it started their activities, we're all excited. We are excited to see that. Okay, for once, we'll have a refinery that works. And before Dangote Refinery came into existence, we have local refineries that still collect money till date. that are still, that still
They have
budgets.
staff. Yes, they have staff.
They have
as it
budgets.
is right now.
They still have budgets.
They do maintenances.
Exactly. So I'm wondering, why not take these resources and put it somewhere else? The problem, when we finish fixing the issues of bad leadership in this country, we have to come and now talk to ourselves as citizens. We have to come to talk to ourselves as those that are at the helm of affairs, in Nigeria. Because the whole thing is even fishy to me. The Dangote refinery drops it to 6 something. All of a sudden it goes back to 7 something. It just tells you that there's someone in the middle there saying, this is too small. How do we survive? Because all of this happened in just few days. All of these occurrences played out in days. So what is happening? Why are we still talking about fuel prices? Why are we still talking about this adjustment in fuel prices? And like Dangote said, okay, he now even say, let us now give it at 700 and something naira. You still fueling stations that will still insist on selling at a hiked price. Who is, or where do we now trace this problem? Do we blame our leaders? Do we blame our president as we always do? Do we blame the governors as we always do? Because clearly they are not the ones in charge of this. But then again, we can also plead that they are, they have authority to bring order, to bring stability in the oil sector. Our dear president is in charge somehow of the oil sector. And this is that time where he brings normalcy, because this thing has lingered from the whole drama between the gas oil sector to, the whole crisis, the whole strike and everything that affected. And when all of these things happen, it is the common man that is affected most. So what is that difficulty in saying, can I make my people, can I give them some kind of liberation? I tell you the truth, even with this drop in price of fuel, you will still see transportation companies hike prices.
That's one of the major problems.
You still see that you cannot travel for less. You're traveling by road, you're traveling by air, you're almost spending the same thing.
Airfare now is expensive, and that's the reason. Even the National Assembly, the House of Rep, everyone is lamenting. But then,
expensive.
What do we need to do? I think this is high time we get to the drawing board and think of what we can do, because this is corruption.
There is no rocket science.
The problem is this. One of the problems that a lot of Nigerians have is when you talk about corruption, they look at politicians.
Yes.
We're not exonerating the politicians, but individuals, Nigerians, at every level, wherever they see any opportunity, they get corrupt. Any small leadership position, it could be anywhere. You see people, even in family meetings.
Yes.
You see, because somebody is a chairman, you see, there is this tendency of corruption. Maybe because somebody is a secretary, because you're holding a particular position somewhere, you take advantage of that, and you do the unthinkable yourself first. Greed everywhere. That's one of the major problems that we have in this country. So if there is anything that needs to be done, let's don't just focus on the politicians alone. If we want to sanitize the society, if we want to cleanse the land, we need to start from ourselves first. All right? Because, okay, look at what we're talking about now. Do you know that these marketers don't even care? These transporters, they don't care. If a price goes up in Nigeria, it hardly comes down. And no one is saying anything. And these people up there, they will not talk about anything that is not affecting them directly.
And yes, we have a Minister of Transportation.
Has he ever said anything about this? No. I've not heard.
What happens if a Minister of Transportation comes out to say, because of the fuel price that has dropped, we need to regulate the transportation of those, that are to be traveling. This is what is your responsibility?
First of all, call a stakeholders meeting. The NURT, the chairman of the transporters, civil society organizations. Let's sit down and talk. Why is this thing like this in Nigeria? Is there someone that is not working? Is there someone that is trying to exploit the average Nigerian? A lot of people, no, I'm not trying to exonerate politicians, but then attention has been diverted from the fact that corruption has eaten deeply into the fabric of the society. every single person, it will be surprised. You will be amazed that even a child in primary school already know how to divert things in their own favor, not minding what others are feeling. You get to these filling stations today. What do? If you get to a filling station, you see people. Some people are on queue, some people are not on queue. That's it. That's what we're talking about. See, if we want to get these things right, we should get it right. Corruption is the major problem that we are having in this country. Let no one sabotage the other. If you're being given an opportunity to lead anywhere, it is not an opportunity to promote corruption. I call it witchcraft. Why did I call it witchcraft? Because, okay, let's take for instance, you are already making profit. These people are not selling at a loss, so because they're in business.
Yes.
What we are saying, we are not saying don't make profit. You are in business to make profit.
Yes.
But that excess profit at the detriment of the other person, the average Nigerians.
Yeah.
You are making money from different, maybe from different places, because you're selling diesel, you're selling kerosene, you're selling fuel, you're making money. You are not at a loss. But then your eyes is still in the pocket of the Nigerians, the average Nigerians that are struggling to still collect the little that they have. That is bad. That is corruption. So anytime you blame politicians for being corrupt, you should know that if you insult them one, two insults for you. That's it. That's the truth. Because you are even more corrupt in that your office, that position you're holding, you are more corrupt because you have become a witch or a wizard in that office. Why? Because your eyes is already on other people. The little other people are trying to make ends meet. Nigerians, see, the truth is, somebody will tell you the price of foodstuff has reduced, but where is the money to buy?
The price of foodstuffs has reduced, but we don't see it reflect in the restaurants.
The same thing someone told me, say a plate of food is still going for as high as 10,000, 5,000 in some quarters.
The price of rice
is not reflecting.
Why? I ask. Who is supposed to regulate this thing? Because that is the cankerworm. It's in the society. Something goes down, nobody regulates it so that it reflects in every single space, every single market. We need to have an intercessor. We need somebody that would intercede, or somebody that would, be in the middle of all of these things. Somebody that will be able to regulate prices and make sure that it is indeed.
We have people, they are not working. You just mentioned the Minister of Works.
We don't have them at this point.
They are not working.
They are as good as non-existent.
They are there. They have the position.
So who holds them accountable?
But that's the problem.
Who is in charge of holding
Nigeria's problem is responsibility and accountability. A lot of people are being given responsibility without being held accountable.
But on a norm, who is supposed to hold them accountable? I'm just asking.
Number one, we have civil society organizations.
Okay.
Number two, you see a lot of times, you see the average Nigerians protesting.
Okay.
But then, a man who have a good conscience, let's take for instance, I'm trying to give an example for instance. I'm the man of my house. I'm the head of my house. If anything is going wrong, if my child is doing anything, all right, though my child have the right, to do certain things, but even within your right, if you are doing things that is detrimental to the rest of the kids, I should be able to call you to order as a father of the house.
So in this place, who is our father? Is it not supposed to be our president?
The federal government.
Is it not supposed to be our president?
The federal government have the right to call these people in these offices to order, because first of all, they were being appointed into these offices. But then the Nigerians also have the responsibility of calling these people to order. Like we have recall of people at the House of Assembly, at the National Assembly, House of Rep members, you talk about senators and all of that, the recall process, even though they said it's very long, that is one. Then for public office holders, civil society organizations can actually cry out. More so that Nigerians have come to the terms that we have a listening president. You are aware of the recent happenings where people are saying, well, we have a listening president, we cried, and he has withdrawn and all of that. I'm not going to that. But the truth is, if you are in an office and you are the one in charge and things are going wrong and some people are overdoing because they are in a particular office, it's because no one is holding them accountable. They do and undo. And if the head is weak, the people who are delegated to do these things will override the head. And it is an insult. So what we need to do is call stakeholders meeting. The heads don't need to watch what their subordinates are doing and just keep quiet. And that's the reason accountability is very important. If you're giving anyone assignment, that person should also report back to you, or that's how a system works.
The way it works in Nigeria, sadly, is that people are compensated for helping out in elections. So that's like your share.
I don't know that.
That's like your share of the elections. Don't worry, do whatever you want to do for 4 years.
Priscilla,
this is
I don't know
thank you
that.
Package. Because
are you a politician? Are you a politician?
Well, that's what we see happen. Because I don't understand why a system is not working and they cannot be called. Everybody's crying. You go to the social, thank God for social media right now. Social media, at least it doesn't lie. You go there, you see people lamenting. And we say we have a listening president, a listening government, and nobody does anything about it. Somebody looks like you are, as long as you are, you have been compensated, just enjoy yourself for 4 years. What you do in these 4 years, how you help me, how you defend me will determine if I will still give you again. Or if I win the next election, we're always election conscious. It's all about how to win the next elections. Strategies on that. Don't offend anyone that would not make me win the next elections. That is it. That is it. When election processes goes in a way that it looks as if the people's voices do not count, or it is no longer free and fair, we have a system that, elections are no longer free and fair. It now falls to who would help me, who will be able to push my mandate, who will be able to. So rewards are given to people that are able to.
Okay, if you say so.
No, it's not if I say so. Because I have not seen what you call a president that listens to people's cry or our voices.
All right.
I have never seen it in my history of existence in Nigeria. I'm not talking about just the current president, but I have not witnessed it.
I thought you were going to say Africa or West Africa.
Well, let me just face my own.
All right. Well, that's it. Well, it's a big problem, but then whatever you are doing today, know that one day there is something called nemesis. People's cry. Everyone cannot be, I don't know, but then I think we need to sit up at every level, not just the politicians. At every level, in that your little office, you need to be a leader and not a wizard and not a witch. What a witch and wizard is, you are there to siphon, block other people and pack everything. That's what a lot of people do, and that is the corruption that we're talking about here. All right, this is going to be a time for us to go on a quick break. After this break, when we return, we'll continue with the rest of the program. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily, while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Your way to success. Well, success have many brothers, but failure is an orphan. You will never be a failure, and you can never be a failure. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and today we want to look at a very simple stance. What am I going to talk about today? I want to encourage us that we don't have to wait for motivation before we take action. You don't have to wait for motivation before you take action or do the right thing that you need to do. If you must be successful, because you need to act, number one, you need to act very fast based on what you want to achieve, because everyone have what they are built and designed for. We have a lot of people who are jealous of what we have, who we are, where we are, and what we have been wired to do, or what we have been destined to become. It's very clear. So sometimes that you are waiting for motivation. Motivation can come from either of these people, unknown to you that these persons are actually there to talk you down indirectly. There are some motivation, some healing. That's why I tell people all the time, don't be carried away by praises. Some people can praise you into damnation. Yes, some people can praise you into the pit. There are people that because they praise them, because they heal them, because of applause, you know, they are nowhere to be found today. They are off the stage already. So what we have to do, the number one thing that you need to do is don't wait for motivation, act first. And motivation will follow. All right? There is a secret for successful people. And successful people may not even tell you this. They don't feel motivated every day. That's the truth. Ask the richest man in the world today. He don't feel motivated every day. Sometimes you need to motivate yourself, encourage yourself in what you are doing. They act their way into motivation. Motivation is not the starting line. It is the result of the movement. All right? That's when motivation comes. When you are successful, everyone wants to identify with you. When you are successful, you are a newsmaker already. Everyone wants to be your friend, but you need to be careful. Choose your friends carefully and don't allow your friends choose you. Because a lot of people may want to be your friend because you are a successful man. A lot of people want to claim to be your motivators. Motivators, they are the ones motivating you. Guy, I need to be careful. All right? Wedding happens after you begin. Because first of all, you need to believe in what you are doing. The confidence has to be there before you can even do what you are doing correctly. If not, you fidget on stage. He said in his own case, he didn't feel very confident when he first started. He didn't fancy tools, but he showed up. And the more he acted, the more motivated he became. All right? What you need to do is build confidence yourself. And confidence built consistently have a long way to go. Don't be scared. See, sometimes God puts something in you and your environment may not look it. Your size may not even look it. Do you know when somebody is telling you, this one, what can he offer? This one from this village, I knew when this person was born. A lot of people are going to say so many things, but you need to be confident of yourself. Because you know what you carry on your inside, you know what you are made up of, you know what God told you are going to become. You know what? See, build confidence consistently. Always be confident of yourself. Because action, by the time you begin to put in that action, it creates clarity. When you move, ideas flow. Right? Someone can attest to what I'm saying right now. But when you sit still, fear grows. I want to say that again. When you move, when you take action, ideas flow. That's why some people will tell you, before I even got on stage, well, I didn't even look at my script anymore because I was just flowing, it was because you got on the stage the first time and confidence came unknown to you. That's what it means. Okay? When you move, ideas will begin to flow. When you take that idea, you begin to break it down, an idea begin to flow. When you move, ideas do what? Flow. But when you are still, fear grows on your inside. So even if you don't feel like it, just take one small step today. Send maybe do one or two things that you feel this could actually boost whatever it is you're doing. Stop waiting for the perfect people. Because the perfect people may not be those people motivating you. Sometimes you are doing the wrong thing and some people are saying, wow, but you did well. But you are doing the wrong thing that is about destroying your future. I wonder what happened on social media these days. You see some people misbehaving, some people doing things that will take their lives, that will lead them to condemnation, destruction. And some people are there hailing them. Be careful the kind of comments people make on your post. Some of them are not encouraging. Some of them are there to talk you down. You need to be careful. Build confidence yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust in what you are doing. Trust in yourself. Trust in God first. Yeah, trust in God first, then believe in yourself. That's it. Trust God, then believe in yourself. You will get to your destination. And that is very, very important. So, everyone that is clapping for you, is not all of them that believe in your dream. But you need to be very, very careful. That's what it is. As people are clapping for you, as people are saying, go on, go on, go on, go on. Hey, you did very well. That thing you are doing, I like that, your lifestyle. Keep it up. Oh. Something that is not good, something that the society frowns at. Some people are encouraging you to be naked on social media. That is disastrous. And the same you is looking for a husband. Tell me, does it match? How does it really feel good? Or you want to, let me just leave it at that. Whatever you're doing today, be careful the kind of people that cheer you up. Be careful of motivation. Be careful of hand clap. Be careful of unnecessary healing. Examine yourself. Test yourself. Check what you are doing. But I want you to know that you need to get on the stage, get on that assignment, get on that job, get on that duty, get on that your job description, and just keep moving on it. Ideas will flow. But if you stay stagnant, I tell you the truth, fear will grow in you and build up, and before you know, a destiny has been killed and destroyed. That's not your portion. That's not a portion at all. You are a mobile success. Go somewhere to happen. Don't allow anyone talk you down. Congratulations once again. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.
All right, thank you very much for still being here with us. I hope you have been motivated for the day. Right now, we dive straight into the newspaper review segment, and we're starting with the first paper here, which is the New Telegraph. On the New Telegraph, we have a first story. Yuletide, value of local rice production hits 5.2 trillion naira in 2025. Overstocked warehouses force down prices. Okay. Allocation. FAC approves 1.928 trillion naira for federal government, states, and local governments. That detail is on page 25. Police to resume tinted glass permit enforcement from January 2nd. On page 5 is where you see that detail. Corruption allegations. Reps summon Dangote NMDPRA CEO. There is a writer to that. Says begins Benin, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. This consecutive month, Benin, Port Harcourt, Ibadan discuss. Well, you find out that detail. That is just on page 2 and 5. It's a bit unclear from my end. Nigeria's inflation rate drops for 8 consecutive months and now 14%. On page 3 is where you see that. PDP crisis. My group and I will align with another party if reconciliation fails. And that's coming from Sule Lamido. We go to the Star story that says, and coming from our President Tinubu, we are mobilizing all military assets to protect Nigerians, crush insecurity threats. You find that detail on page 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 28, and 29. So much for you to read on insecurity. Well, the next story, NS smugglers now use encrypted messaging apps to collaborate with criminal gangs. That detail is on page 5. Malami to EFCC chair. Rescue yourself. You can't investigate me. A writer to that says, alleged corruption, court to rule on Ngige's bail application on Thursday. On page 3 and 27 is where you find that detail. Supreme Court upholds President's power to declare emergency rule, suspend elected officials. I think I was listening to this on the news coming this morning. There's a writer to that says, judgment threat to Nigeria's democracy, PDP says. That detail is on page 4 and 5. Finally, we have 2026 budget. Senate frowns on multiple plans, unclear implementation records. Federal government blames bogus projection, unrealistic revenue target. Edun lament 30 trillion naira 2025 revenue shortfall. Fiscal reform boosts revenue inflows into federation accounts to 55 trillion naira in 3 years, and that's coming from the RMAFC. Finally, abdominal obesity, muscle loss, increased risk of death. Okay, that is coming from a study. Those are your headlines for the New Telegraph. We'll go to the Guardian newspaper now.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Let's quickly go to the Guardian newspaper this morning. On the Guardian, we have a few stories there. Inflation outperforms Tinubu's target, eases to 14.45%. Tinubu louds Buhari's legacy, virtues at biography lunch. House summon Dangote NMDPRA boss over renewed rift. Well, we've talked extensively about that already. A Senate flays multiple budget, raises FRS 2026 target to 35 trillion naira. And of course, the big story says Supreme Court's verdict on emergency rule unsettled polity power structure. I take that again. Supreme Court's verdict on emergency rule unsettles polity and power structure. Then you have this very big one there, Harvest the Future, all right? That looks more like an advert right there. That is the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning, as we quickly move to the Punch newspaper, which also have that advert on the page there.
Yes, it's quite a scanty one on the Punch newspaper. But let's take the few stories we have. Ngige EFCC clash over missing passport in London. On page 7 is where you see that detail. Buhari believed Aso Rock gossip. I planned killing him. And that's coming from the former first lady, or the former wife of the president, as you know, the late president addressed her, Aisha Buhari. That's a sad one. You find that detail on page 7. Big story. Petrol battlefield. I wonder when this is going to end. Dangote importers locked in brutal price war. A writer to that says Dangote sparks 102 billion naira monthly loss for importers as refinery enforces 699 per litre petrol. Marketers fume. Depot review prices. Well, I hope this will come to an end soon. Those are your headlines. For the Punch newspaper. Let's take it to the Nation newspaper now.
All right. On the Nation's newspaper this morning, we have a couple of headlines. Let me begin from the top of the nameplate. Boost disposable income as inflation drops to 14.45%. Supreme Court President has spurred on emergency order. One writer to that story, and the writer says he can suspend governor. All right. Okay. Viral bandit footage result of interagency tension. Please to resume enforcement of tinted glass permit January 2nd. I thought that is over already. And of course, 2026 federal government targets aggressive revenue drive to curtail 52 trillion naira debt. Details you can find on page 7 of the Nation's newspaper. The big story now. Buhari didn't name successor to save life. Keep APC intact. Ex-president's biography reveals why he didn't overrule Osinbajo. All right, that's the writer to the big story. And of course, this one says Tinubu, that's the kicker. Buhari thought Nigerians' public office is a trust, not a windfall. Finally, from the Nation's newspaper, BUA's 30 billion naira cash award for long-standing staff members. That's the most to be taken from the Nation's newspaper.
Okay, can we still take any paper? Okay, let's just take the Daily Independent. Starting with the first story above the nameplate. Supreme Court, rules president can declare emergency rule, suspend elected officials. That's coming on the Daily Independent. There's rather to that says, court ruling may set dangerous precedent, and PDP are the ones warning for that. Malami alleges bias, ask EFCC chairman to step aside from probe. On the big story, we have airlines justify sky high fares amidst public backlash. You want to find out what they actually said? Get yourself a copy of the Daily Independent. Inflation drops for 8 consecutive months to 14.5%. On page 7 is where you see that detail. Raj intervene in Dangote NMDPRA rift. On page 6 is where you see that. I didn't say South should produce president in 2027. That's coming from El Rufai, and that detail is on page 7. How coalition built with Buhari removed sitting president by Tinubu. That's coming from, that is on page 6. To battle terrorism, federal government procures MRAP vehicles, armored fleets. Tinubu vows to protect Nigerians, crush insecurity threats. Okay, and finally we have alleged 2.2 billion naira fraud and Ngige to spend more 4 days in prison. That detail is on page 6. Those are your headlines for the Daily Independent.
All right, thank you very much, Priscilla. Now we will go on a quick break, and after this break, Ogochukwu Mobono will bring you Social Buzz. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Good Good morning, the Global Morning Crew, and good morning to you, our viewers. How are you doing? It's another beautiful Tuesday morning as we draw closer to the Christmas celebration, where I am Ogoch Kumobuna, and here to give you trending issues on social media. So today we're talking about a young woman who has allegedly gave birth to a baby boy and killed the newborn shortly after delivering in Boko local government area of Benue State. The disturbing incident reportedly occurred in the early hours of Sunday, December 14th, 2025, behind Government Secondary School, Boko, throwing the community into pandemonium and mourning. Residents are calling for immediate police intervention to investigate the circumstances surrounding the incident and ensure justice is served. Well, things like this we get to see and hear almost every time on social media, but you ask yourself every time again, why carry that baby for a full term of 9 months when you know you definitely do not want that child? What happened? What happened to, terminating earlier? I'm not in support of, I'm not in support of abortion. No, I think it's illegal in our society as of today, but I think either you prevent it or you don't even get to give birth to that child anymore at that age, to be very sincere. Don't bring a life that you know you're going to take in no time. You are a mother and you should face the law. To be very honest, me, I do not support things like that happening at all. Well, I'm not the only person going to give my thoughts today. We are going to be taking some thoughts from social media as regards the issue, and let's know what exactly they are saying, what exactly they want to say, or what they have said already concerning this issue. So the first comment we have today is coming from Ken Obor, and Ken Obor says, postpartum depression is more than just feeling tired or overwhelmed after childbirth. It can quietly bring deep sadness, anxiety, or a sense of disconnection at a time when joy is expected. Many mothers struggle in silence, but it's important to say this clearly. It's not a personal failure. With understanding, support, and the right help, healing is possible, and no mother should walk that journey alone. God rest the little angel. Oh God, I really feel bad. I understand this postpartum, but people give birth and not kill their child. So I don't want to use postpartum as an excuse for you to murder your own child that you suffered. I understand that you could be depressed, although I've never been there, so I won't tell you that I can put myself in that shoe for now. But I know that there is postpartum depression. I understand. I remember one time, someone told me, oh, I saw my child, and because of the way the child was crying so much, the child was just a few months old, because the way the child was crying so much, she didn't have time to rest. She almost felt like using pillow to stuff that baby till he dies. And I was like, why would you do that? She said, because she's just tired. I understand that part. You have tried to win your baby, you've tried to feed your baby, do anything, and the child is still crying and you don't have someone to help you hold the child while you rest. Most times it's because of rest. These ladies do not get enough rest. But I don't understand whereby it's just few hours. You just gave birth few hours ago. I think that point is the time of still, being happy. You are still rejoicing. You're still happy that you were able to birth a human, only for you to kill your child. So I don't understand that part of postpartum. I won't lie. I'm not going to give it to postpartum at this point. Well, let's take it to the next comment. And the next comment is coming from Beyond Studios. And Beyond Studios says, there's always an excuse for everything a woman does. There is always a sweet name for it. How did you go through the stress of pregnancy and buy the child yourself? It's better if you had aborted the pregnancy now. Okay, that's his own view. This is almost like my view at this point, to be very honest. Like, how do you go through that stress? How do you carry this child for 9 months, 3 terms, I think, and only for you to say, oh, I don't think I want this child. Just few hours after the child is being birthed. Don't you still feel that pain of birthing a child? Or don't people feel pain anymore? To be very honest, I really cannot understand this part. They say, you listen, we don't judge, but I'm sorry if I'm judging this morning. Well, not alone this morning in the studio. I have with me Priscilla Obasi. Good morning, Priscilla.
Good morning, Ogochukwu. It's quite a sensitive one this morning. Anyways. Yeah, I know. I'm so happy that I got to see you in the studio. You're a mother, and you must have gone through these stages, carrying your child for a complete term, and also, going through the stage of winning your child, staying through the night and all of that, the postpartum whole thing. So what is it? What do you think about this story?
Okay,
I understand.
First, I don't know if you didn't say if she's a married person, if she's a single mother at this point. Because
okay, for them to term her a very young lady, she looks like she's actually not married. Okay, like, so she's a single person.
If she is a single person, now you also raise concerns on, okay, why did she go through the abortion instead of going through, So the thing is, some people go through, get pregnant without knowing. And at the point where the baby gets to a certain stage, it becomes risky to go through that process. So sometimes you're advised to just take that child, or you end up, hurting yourself. And that's why some people decide to say, okay, let me take it, let me go through that 9 months, and afterwards I do in their mind, the needful. You get. So I want to answer that question on why didn't she? It could have been such a situation that she got pregnant, she didn't know, and all. Now, to answer postpartum depression, the thing is, society contributes to postpartum depression. For a single lady to get pregnant, you would know that the shame, the embarrassment, the backlash from society would make you go through something, especially if you're not married. Do you understand? If you're not married, you don't have supportive family members. And even if you are married, if you don't have support, it is very difficult. It's very difficult for a married person, not talk of an unmarried person. I'm not justifying whatever she did. And for what she did, it is totally condemnable. Why don't we create a system? Because as much as you are taking other children away from the world, there are people looking for these children. So why don't we have a network system where people that have children that they don't want can give it to people that...
I think that's the orphanage, right? That's where the orphanage comes in, right?
It's difficult. I think we need a better system than orphanages, because these days, orphanages, I don't know, I'm not speaking down on orphanages, but it becomes difficult. The process sometimes is not seamless as it should be. Yes. If I am pregnant and I don't want a child, why can't I reach out directly or have a government agency that would help me, that will link me to a family that wants a child?
Okay.
It can happen. These are the solutions we should be finding situations like this, because it will keep happening. There are people that want children, there are people that do not want children. Why not give the children to people that need the children? Why don't we have agencies that can intermediate these persons, link them up and compensate each other? I mean, it's that simple.
That makes a lot of sense there.
That way we would do away with things called abortion. I think we'll have a happier society, because when you're able to satisfy or meet the need of somebody, because looking for a child is not an easy thing. It is that situation where you know that there's nothing I can do about it. You don't have a solution. The only solution is the supernatural sometimes. You get, some people have gone through all series of tests. They have tried even IVF. It's not working. So you're at that point where you are desperate, and sometimes you are being taken advantage of. So it is solution indeed to connect these people. That way we don't have situations like this, honestly. So I'm not trying to judge the young lady, but whatever she did was bad. And if you are a young lady watching this, I mean, you can't walk up to people. You can even ask. You can ask.
You can even be paid for it.
Yes, ask.
Very true.
Ask. Instead of putting your life through or killing that innocent child, give that child to somebody that needs them.
Baby.
People have been extorted. I think I've watched videos on social media where people are trying to sell babies from hospital. People that don't need it. A woman is trying to sell her own child. And sometimes the person that is trying to receive the money is extorting. You understand? You're telling me I'm taking this baby for so, and you're giving the person. So there's so much of a mess around that thing. So we need a proper structure around them. Just normalize it, because at this point that is what we need. All
right. Thank you so much, Priscilla, for that contribution. To wrap it up, what we need is a proper structure, an agency that can intermediate for these people and make sure that no child is lost. Nobody deserves to lose their life, even if it's a baby that don't even know what's going on in this life. Thank you once again, Priscilla, for your contribution to today's topic. All right, that's all we have for you today on Social Buzz here on Global Morning. Please stay with us. Global Morning stay continues. I am Ogotko. Bye for now.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
It's good to have you back from Social Balls. Of course, we're going into the first conversation right away. And of course, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is one challenge that we are collectively fighting to make sure it's been tackled once and for all. All hands have been on deck. The federal government recently intensified its efforts to tackle banditry in the country, insecurity as a whole. Today, we'll have a security expert joining us on the conversation as we look at Nigeria's level of preparedness, because we've had a lot of actions, a lot of steps being taken by the federal government in order to curb this menace. Now, we want to do an assessment of the government's preparedness or readiness to tackle this insecurity. What is the level of government's preparedness? From his own perspective, we will be looking at this issue right away. Joining us on the conversation is a security expert, like I said, in the person of Professor Ibrahim Abubakar. It's good to have you join us on the program, Prof.
Good morning.
Now, let's get into so many things have happened lately as it has to do with security. But then, want to do an assessment of Nigeria's preparedness to tackle banditry as an issue in this country. From recent time, all right, before the statement came from United States and right now, what do you think about Nigerians' attitude to insecurity as a challenge?
Nigerians are more conscious security-wise than before. There is a lot of awareness and there is a speed to learn. But the issue is, are we really ready to tackle the issue? The answer is no. So we are not ready and we are not prepared to tackle the issue. The first thing is you have knowledge of what is the issue. The second thing is solving it. Are we ready to solve it? So we are not ready to solve it. We are not prepared to solve it. That is just the problem.
What do you mean when you say we are not prepared to solve it? There is a problem, and you said we are not prepared to solve it. So what do we want? Based on your assessment.
When you are prepared to solve a particular problem, you bring up ideas that will mold up that problem. Yeah, we don't have idea of what to do to solve our internal problem. So we are not depending on the people who are actually the cause of our problem. So what would they do? They will expound it because they benefit from it. So that's the situation where we find ourselves.
You know, when you say we depend on people, all right, who are responsible for our problem, you know, it's so big. What do you mean by depending on the people who are the cause of the problem? It's so big. Can you make Nigerians understand?
The ICIC, the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, and the rest are being financed and sponsored by agencies for American. Yeah, the same Americans were calling upon to solve the same problem for us. So are we complicating the issue, or we are just taking the issue as what it is? I can tell you for free that the Americans' visit to Benue alone, and by surveillance imagery system that they carried along, and what we call the reflectional system of that satellite imagery has taken away about $500 billion from Benue. So what did the federal government know about that? Because it is high restitute and high reflectional bodies satellites they were using in Benue. 500 billion has been taken away from Benue. And in Nigeria, before they will leave in entire Nigeria, about 5 trillion to 10 trillion US dollars will be leaving Nigeria. That is for them, but it is for the agencies to know what they are doing. So it is not my business.
So how are they getting that money? The Nigeria government is going to pay them that money?
No, they have taken away. When I say they take away 500 billion from Benue, they know what they're taking away from Benue. But that is for the agencies to find out. It's not my business.
Okay, for the agencies to find out. Well, that is, in fact, I think as it is, I'm a bit, because if you say they are taking away about 5 billion, or 500 billion, 500 billion from Benue State.
Yes.
I'll be wondering, how much does Benue State have? This is a state that was paying salaries and all of that. So who is paying that?
You are calculating.
Is it the governor that is going to pay that money?
You are calculating everything in Nigeria based on what we call processing from IGRO and the federal allocation. That is what every leader in Nigeria based their discussion on. They forget that Benue is so adored with some other resources that are not known to the ordinary people and to the leadership of the state. I have said this severally that the poorest state in Nigeria can generate about 200 billion US dollars equivalent, if possible. So we have not done our planning. We have not known why these intrusions on Nigeria. So Nigeria possesses everything in the world, and that makes Nigeria the richest nation. So why didn't they tag other countries as countries of particular concern? They would have done that to Sudan and other African countries. So why Nigeria? Are we more troubled than Chad? Are we more troubled than Sierra Leone? So why Nigeria? Because we have not sit down to think of our issues and how to articulate and redesign our country. So when you are not setting to look at the objective plans and how to follow up these plans, this is what you get. And that is what we are getting in return, because they are feeding our people with crops. So when they feed us with crops, we feel individually that we are contented. So that is what happens to those who are managers and administrators of our security bodies.
So invariably you're saying the visit of the U.S. Congress delegates, all right, is to carry money away from Nigeria. Is that what you're saying?
What they are taking away is not physical cash, because we are not talking of physical cash.
Okay, you're trying to quantify what they are taking away. So what are they taking away? You're talking about natural resources, or you feel the gadgets they came with has identified places where there are natural resources.
Okay, let me tell you, from the throne of the Benue, from Zakibia down to Oweto, to Ogule, down to Abagaji, if I tell you what we have there as hydrocarbon, you will marvel. And you will ask me, how did I know? I know that will be your next question. Then when you are coming from Boko, going to Oju, then you find out what you have there, then you will marvel. Then let's come to Katsina Allah, going to Vadika. I'm very surprised you are thinking, where do I pass through all this? So, so when you look at what you have in Benue alone and some other states in Nigeria, then you find out that we have been dancing around the ring when we are supposed not to be discussing poverty in Nigeria. And these people are coming with high resolute, high density satellite systems that position them to know what we possess in every spot they go to. And who call themselves the security agencies has no apparatus to mention these indices and get details of what these people are up to and what they are doing. So can you see why Zaki Biam was a very good concern several years ago? Can you see
what
why
Nigerians know about Zaki Biam?
So can you see why Oweto, Ogule, and the rest are on the front burner? So it is not just what you are saying of herders, farmers' crisis. No. It's not the juku and the tips. No. It is more deeper than that. And my concern is, why has the federal agencies not note why we have these draw lines?
Okay, because it's getting more deeper as it is from your discussion right now. All right, let's look at the government now. Apart from the state government, because all attention is on the federal government as it has to do with tackling banditry, insecurity challenge, handling insecurity challenge in the country as a whole. There have been some moves by the federal government recently when Nigeria was declared as a state of a particular concern, all right, to handle this situation, beginning from the recruitment of police officers who needs to go into the hinterlands and even the forest guard to tackle this. So I was surprised to hear you say, well, Nigerians, the preparedness is not there.
Well, the issue we have here is whether we recruit 1 million police or 5 million security agents around, and they don't have, the managers and administrators don't know how the leadership connection, we are heading nowhere. We can think that we are fighting banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, and the rest. These are very Maic principles or principalities that we are after. That is not the game plan. That is never the game plan.
So what's the game plan?
The game plan is capturing Nigeria back, taking over our resources, both capital and human resources. So these are the game plan. And that is why I asked the question, why is it always the females that are always kidnapped from various schools between the age of 11 and 17, probably 18? Why them? The game plan is just written. There is more money in organ harvesting than ransom. And there is more money in collecting the young ladies' homo fluid than ransom. That is where the game plan is. So when you think of, okay, if they kidnap me today, at worst they will collect maybe, if my family is so well-to-do, maybe they just collect 5 to 10 million naira. Because there is nothing they are going to gain from me. But from a very young lady, they will make up to 100 to 250 million naira, depending on the bargain. So why the homo fluid? I can tell you that for the next 20 to 50 years, the index of giving birth to a male child will reduce drastically because all what we take contains this homo fluid from the ladies. So they will produce more females and male. And by the time they will come, they will swerve into our females to marry them, not out of love, but to harness our country, Nigeria. That is just the whole thing.
But recently, all right, even though you are not so satisfied with what from your statement, you're not so satisfied with the Nigerian system's preparedness. But recently, there is a report that there is the reduction, there is a level of reduction in the insecurity situation in the country. What do you think?
I am propelling something. I propel it. I set the tune. And you are calling me to solve it. I will tell my people to dance till I ask them to reactivate. If there is a disagreement, or if the run is not in my favor, now the runs is in their favor, so why won't they tell their people to withdraw and down to meanwhile? They are in control. And you don't have any protective mechanisms. You should know that our people are not trained on espionage activities. So they are on espionage activities and they are hitting the ground running.
You're using technical terms now when you talk of espionage activity and non-espionage activity. What are you referring to for clearer understanding?
The security agencies knows what is called espionage activities. So we have a lot of espionage activities taking place in Nigeria. Espionage on our business and economic security, espionage on industrial security, espionage on environmental security, espionage on production security, productive security, and the rest. So none of our people have been trained on this, and we do some undercover system which they call espionage, and undercover system is not espionage activities.
So, in other words, because we've seen a lot being done recently, what do you think? What's your opinion of the change of security chiefs? Just recently, the president again had meeting with the chief security operatives and all of that. Don't you think that is a good way to go? Apart from the fact that you believe that these people are after something else.
If you like, change the security chiefs every month, and the proper synergy is not there. They are not articulate. They are not.
When you say proper synergy, what is the proper? What kind of synergy are you talking about? Let's, for instance, if you're speaking to the maybe federal government now, what synergy are you talking about? What kind of synergy? How should it be done?
See, synergy on control, protective system, information network, communication lines, languages, programming, processing. These are the synergies we want to make sure we solve our problems. So when you want to itemize them, you find out that you itemize them from 1, 2, 3, 4 to about 15 or 20. But we don't have anyone.
Anyone out of the 15 or 20?
No.
But don't you think there is need to propose all this? Because I will keep saying it, that the security situation in Nigeria is not just the responsibility of the government alone, that even individuals have a role to play. As a Nigerian who know all of this, don't you think it will be better to do a proposal or make this known to the authorities? Or you think there are people that know these things?
No matter the proposal you do, which I have done severally, even from the period of of Obasanjo to Jonathan to where we are today, and the presentations I have made, all I receive is a clamp of the hands, because I'm not talking about their own personal portfolios or their personal pocket, if I put it that way. So if you want to really reintegrate the system, you should also put the tools down, not talking of how much money you are going to make for yourself. But they want how much money they can make for themselves, so they are not ready to discuss what we call process of progression. They are not talking of progression at all. No Nigeria is talking of progression, but I can understand with them too, because the benefits we have here in Nigeria is very mild compared to the sacrifice they want you to do.
Oh, all right, we'll go on a quick break. After this break, when we return, the conversation continues. We're looking at insecurity challenges in Nigeria and a full assessment of Nigeria's preparedness to tackle banditry in the country. This is a problem that everyone is very, very, very skeptical about. But the good thing is that Nigerians are becoming more conscious of the security tips than before. After this break, we'll return and we'll continue with the conversation.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program,
As always, it's a pleasure to have you join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss, and of course,
welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Women can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as
a numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Festival is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time, where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to
world leaders in United Nigeria Entertainment Circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
One of those, that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276.
As a matter of fact, the issue of security in Nigeria is not something that we can talk about in just one sitting. I have a security expert on the program this morning, and we are discussing the insecurity challenges in the country. Nigerians have been doing so much, from the vigilantes to the forest guard to everyone, including the army. But then it seems not to be enough, because we keep hearing, by the time attention gets to the Northeast, before you hear anything is from the North Central, before you talk about the North Central, they are hitting the West. It appears as if these evil geniuses are everywhere. But now, from the security aspect of it, let's look at the army as a whole. Let me get to my guest in the studio now. As a matter of fact, Prof, the Nigerian army have been on top of their game. Some have even lost their lives in the process. Some, as we speak, are combating these bandits, these terrorists. What is your assessment of the Nigerian army? Let's look at the security architecture as a whole. What's your assessment? What do you think of the security architecture?
The issue you're talking of the military, in defense security, you find out that they are not doing what the military is supposed to do. What we have done is we have exposed our military and its weakness to the external bodies. We have weakened the parameters of the military by what we are dedicating them to do, which is not part of their duties, obligation, and training. Till we know what is the difference between defense security, which is, and know what is the collective homeland security, including the internal bodies system, strategies, tactics, operational models, and the rest, we will not get it right. Because the moment you expose your military to the internal security network, then you are exposing their weakness to the external bodies. So we have long exposed our military, the defense segment of our system, to external bodies. So the weakness is already exposed to the whole world. They used to look at our military as a very strong force in Africa. Not anymore.
So what has gone wrong?
because we have exposed them. Let me use that word.
When you say expose them, what do you mean by expose them? Because what they are doing is they have to protect the territorial integrity of the nation.
So they are no longer protecting territorial integrity of the nation. They are now working as doing the work of policing. They are doing the work of scrutinization. Even as scrutiny is a part of security, but they are already doing the work of scrutinization. So the weakness is already being read every day. So we throw them too open. Then collectively, it's like a test run to make us showcase what we possess. It's just like a salary day, and your wife know today is a salary day and you collected your salary, like in those days when we used to collect salary on envelopes. Not paid to the banks, just envelopes. So your wife knows, your family knows that it's a salary day. So you are being overclouded and being overpraised to give out. So that is the way it's not a scream that started today. Not a screen that started today. It is a screen that has started long ago after the Civil War. So we went to Lebanon, we went to other peace missions, and in every time they will give our people a medal. And I would just be laughing in one corner.
Why are you laughing? You think?
Yeah, because I know that they have intruded into our system. Seriously.
Okay, going for peacekeeping.
Yeah,
so going for peacekeeping, other people are intruding into your system because you went to peace?
No, because they were giving you medal for excellent performance.
But you did well, so you deserve a medal.
No, the medal was not because we were doing too well. It's a form of intrusion into our system. So you capture yourself as the boss, as having done excellently well, whereas...
So it has, what's the implication?
The implication is because you become very relaxed and very pompous with some pride. And you know, we like to be...
But we used to have... Nigeria have the best artillery. We were in Sierra Leone.
All those things were just to powder us to get us weakened. And we have been weakened.
You mean the intervention in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and the other places weakens us? So, what will you say about Nigeria's intervention in the recent?
I want to ask you a question. Sierra Leone and Liberia were actually what? Who granted them? They were colonized by who? By American. Why was America not in Sierra Leone and Liberia? Why didn't they go there to intervene? So we don't take deep because we don't have good security orientation. Let me not put it training. Because when you put it training, they will challenge you and tell you, I was training UK, I was training Germany, I was training this, I was training that, whereas you were half-baked. If they know some of us, like me, will come back to Nigeria I don't think they will give me the kind of training they give to me. So that is what I am telling you. The truth remains that whether you go right, back, front, or so, Steve Smith, who changed the British police, was never a policeman. He was never trained as a military man. But he made sure he gave them a direction, and he became the sole administrator of police in UK, to the extent he limits the use of arms and ammunition, and also make the police to handle battens instead of arms and ammunition, and bring policing to a coordinated system in UK. That is what he was able to achieve. So in our own, what do we achieve? So that is the problem we have. To me, it's not a problem per se, but that is the problem we have for now.
But you know that up till now, all right, a lot of African nations believe in Nigeria. During the coup in Benin Republic, you know, a communication was established, and as it was in the media, and there had to be an intervention, all right? And that situation was calm. Don't you think Nigeria, as it is, despite the fact that there is insecurity challenges, don't you think Nigeria, all right, especially the military, still have what it takes to bring this challenge to an end? Like, take for instance, there was an instruction lately, because even the system believe in the military. Because of the rising insecurity situation, Army halts retirement of over 800 officers and commissioned 250 new officers just to tackle this problem. The reason why that was done is because of their expertise. These persons are experienced already. We shouldn't let them go in this situation. Don't you think that is a move in the right direction?
No, we are getting it wrong again. I will tell you something that has happened in Benin Republic you don't understand. Nigeria as a country has spent over 200 and something billion US dollars to bail out other nations out of. And that is what the Western world wants. What is the Naira compared to the CFA as at today? I think Nigerian currency is already becoming like a tissue paper.
Even in Africa?
Yes, even in Africa, the CFA is better than Naira. So what was the CFA to Naira in the 80s, in the 90s, even to the early 2000s? So what have we put ourselves on? Who is actually benefiting from Benin? France. Did France intervene? No. We play a big brother role in every incident that happens in Africa.
But don't you think Nigeria is closer than France?
France can deploy, does not take any hours for France to deploy their military into Benin Republic. But they will not do that, because even if the military takes over, or whosoever take over, France benefit.
So they don't care. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, they don't. Who are you to be cared for? A black monkey? That is what Africa has not agreed to. That is what we have to accept. So the intervention is a fear of a grip in one way, and is a fiat on the other way, and exposing a weakness the other way.
Prof, but don't you think it's going too far to refer to humans as black monkeys? Don't you think it's better to take it back?
No, that is what they have already made us to be, and that is the way we are thinking. Even in our thinking, you also know that we always not have that real mentality of thought.
Okay, I thought you were going to take that word back. Anyway.
No, I'm not going to take it back because we are always on that side. I'm not saying our intellectual values have depreciated, but our self-esteem, our value system tells so to us. We don't need to misinterpret it. No.
So we're trying to round up now. So what are the way forward now? What are the way forward? Because the most important aspect is the life that is going.
I have told you, I have said it severally, that the challenges we have, whether it's banditry, it's kidnapping, it's insurgency, whatever terrorism we have here, even to armed robbery and stealing we have here, all corruption indices or on corruption indices, we can resolve these issues within just a little time if the proper placement is made.
The proper placement in which sector are you talking? Because you talked about policy, the placement of
in policy, in protective mechanisms, in suggestions, in ideas, in building up, in restructuring the security system. These things will end on their own. I don't need to come to your house and exchange arms or gunfire, or what we call gunfires, with you to make you change your ways.
All right, but this proposal that you said you've been submitting, or since the time of the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, why not keep trying it? Are you relaxed already? Because I don't think this administration know about it.
The issue is that you cannot...
Things are changing, by the way.
No, you cannot change it. You cannot flog a dead horse.
But these are individuals, different individuals with different thinking.
The government is continuum. Government is not.
But I'm thinking that the way this insecurity situation is now, the way the challenge is now, and the way the federal government is going about it, maybe your proposals, if looked into, and it's something to go by, they might, look into it in a different way.
No, they won't look into it because it's the same.
You don't believe they will?
No, they will not, because the quest is the quest to make money. And when your first quest is the quest to make money, you are not ready to take put any intellectual property into value, because you are not going to make money from that intellectual property. I designed the Dubai security system. Good. Dubai is building a new district, and they have invited me to come and extend the same security system to the new district. Nigeria don't want you. You don't need it. They don't need you, so you don't kill yourself over it, even as you are in Nigeria.
Okay, so right now, Dubai is calling you to do an extension
of the design. I did the security design from the scratch in Dubai, and they are building a new district, and they have invited me come to extend it to the new district. You can't do that in Nigeria. They don't want you. And even if you read your Bible, Jesus Christ said, when you go to where they don't accept you, dust your shoes and walk.
All right. All right. Well, I think this is something that we can finish talking about in the insecurity challenge in Nigeria, assessing Nigeria's preparedness to tackle this menace. It has become a problem it has become, in fact, something that is worrisome to every individual, both children, adults. Everyone is concerned about security. Everyone is being security conscious as it is right now. And that's a security expert talking to us. I think Prof have said categorically that there is no serious level of preparedness by the authorities to cope this situation. And he says something very vital, that the same people who are responsible are the same people that are being run to for solutions. So what they are doing is just like a catch-up mechanism, which seems not to be working. But then the federal government has been on top of its game. U.S. Congress delegates were in Nigeria, and of course, they have said, really more, they have said they will be working with the Nigerian security architecture. But then I think one of the areas that is surprising is the fact that you are building a security system, all right, for another country, while your own country, to whom you've submitted proposals severally, have not given it a go-ahead. They have not looked at it and deemed it fit for what is happening in Nigeria right now. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Prof, for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you very much, and thank you for viewers.
All right, this is going to be the size of the conversation this morning as we go on a quick break. Coming up next is the second conversation with Priscilla Obasi. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program.
As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Join us here on Global Morning. I am Uyi Alpo.
You know how we do it on Teacher Post Extra, bringing you all the...
On the desk this evening, we have very topical issues to discuss. And of course...
Welcome to your parliamentary program, The Parliament.
Peaceful and joyful home doesn't happen by chance. It is built on...
Men can rise beyond traditional boundaries to claim their rightful place as...
Numerous committee, about more than 12 committees.
Face-to-Face is a program that comes to you once in a week at about this time where we look into issues and discuss them. It gives you the opportunity to...
World news in United Nigeria. Entertainment, circle. And trust me, today you're about to get entertained.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sports here on Global Television.
Talk Zone is that platform where we bring young and talented artists.
Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay with Global Television on DSTV Channel 365, on Star Times Channel 276.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Thank you very much for still being here with us. Now, as Nigeria looks ahead to 2027 elections, you know, political conversations are already gaining momentum, not just about the candidates, but also about party structure, readiness, internal discipline, ideologies, and the likes of it. For many Nigerians, the big question remains, are political parties truly building systems and mobilizing in the right structures? Today we're going to be focusing on the African Democratic Congress, yes, a recent coalition that brought together members from different parties. And I have with me, virtually in the studio, a guest. He is the national chairman of the ADC in Nasarawa State. You get to see him after this break. Please stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What is your problem? What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Thank you very much for still being here with us. So we are joined virtually in the studio by the Nasarawa State chapter, the ADC chairman, in the Nasarawa State chapter, talking about Shuaibu Dambajin Saidu. You're welcome, sir, to the conversation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's just go straight. I would just want to ask, in general terms, what are the preparations like for the African Democratic Congress ahead of the 2027 elections?
Okay, as you can see, Nigeria in 2027 election, there will be a lot of shaping. And precisely when you look at ADC today as a party, has become a strong opposition. A lot of ideologies and discipline.
Okay.
With the grace of our national chairman, David Mark, I believe with how the party is going today, all Nigerians have spoken. Nigeria are trying to make decisions. And by God's grace, 2027 is going to be a different ballgame where the ruling party will be on seat by God's grace. So if you can look at what is happening precisely, it's an adjustment maybe that we're going to have from INEC. A credible election is open out. If INEC would tighten their belt and make sure they give us a strong electronic voting, tightening regulations on party primaries, to make sure that there's no any hula-balus, I believe.
Oh, we seem to have... Sorry about that, sir. Please just go ahead.
Yes. With the help of the Independent Electoral Commission, I believe very soon the strong opposition, which is ADC, will unseat the ruling party. When you look at Nigeria today, if you on your own sit and you believe that Nigeria have already decided, because we have a lot of challenges that is happening in Nigeria. We have economic hardship in Nigeria presently. We are facing serious insecurity and there are serious electoral violences. And a lot of people are facing those challenges right from their wards. Let me say from their units up to the states, to the national level. So for that reason, many Nigerians will decide. It's we that we are in the party that we are hearing the call. Anywhere you're passing, I'm sorry to tell you, even it's just an ordinary pickup I use of ADC passing through the streets of every place of my state, everybody will be shouting, ADC, ADC. So which I believe, with the discipline we have in this political terrain, Nigeria will speak again. Nigeria will make decision. And I believe many people are crying. The insecurity level is becoming very high in this country. It faces significant security challenges, including banditry, terrorism, and what have you, have already taken care of Nigeria. Places are no longer owned by individuals. When you go to some places, some people can barely eat two or one time in a day. So the thing is buffering us, and we believe the only option we have is now, thank God, the coming of ADC/coalition, that people will now have their life back again.
A lot of Nigerians still say parties in Nigeria lack clear ideological differences. What would you say makes ADC different?
Yes, ADC is different because of the discipline we have, especially when we're talking about differences in ideology. The way and manners ADC is going now. If you can look at right from initial, when they come as a coalition members, they follow the normal channels of becoming a political party. And whatever they are going to do, if it is in terms of politics, you know, some people used to use money bags to influence people around and make sure they get what they want at the time. But look at what is happening in ADC. It's not that they don't have people that are rich now. Rich people came into the party, but the national chairman told them everybody must follow process and procedures. And all of us, the old chairman that he came and met, that is one ideology I so much like with him. And the discipline I believe that the party is going to maintain. He met us on the party. We don't have money. But as state chairman of the party, from the old system of the party, he said he's going to maintain us. And he has been maintaining us, discussing with us, having next meeting with us, making sure that whatever will bring us a decision is what they are following. So it means that, yes, really, the kind of ideology he brought to the party is going to make the party really work. Because it's not all about bringing all these rich people to the party and then they will come and collect positions and make installations. You know, most of these things, installation of a thing, that's what is causing crisis in other political party, which I don't want to mention any party. But presently now, with what we are going and what we are seeing, we believe in the leadership of ADC, and we believe with the ideology that the national chairman is running the party. And we believe that the people will really make decisions through this party.
Party discipline has been a major issue across Nigeria's political space. How do you think the ADC is addressing this? We find out that when parties get to limelight, you find issues around internal conflict and all of that. What is the hope for the ADC? How are we sure that we don't see this playing out? Being that those that are joining the coalition are also from existing parties that are facing the same issues.
Of course, when you look at it priorly, before the coming of ADC or before this, the ADC will become like this. When you look at it, so many political parties will be. Most of the people, some people came to parties with ambition. Let me be sincere to you. Some people who came, what I want to become an executive. What I want to become an aspirant. Somebody will just come with intention and ambition and will just come to the party, punch in and just use his money to buy many things. But ADC doesn't allow that, because anybody you come and see, you want to show anything, maybe those people are ready, maybe more ready than you. So what I'm seeing, what I'm still really emphasizing is the discipline in ADC. I think I once saw that kind of discipline in the class where if a teacher is sitting, nobody will now be talking or making noise, and that is what I'm saying in ADC. If a leader is talking, ADC will all listen. Whether you come with the central bank in your pocket, you have to listen to him, and you cannot just come in and just say this is your own ambition of getting to become an executive without following the due process. And that is why, if you can see, I don't know, despite the fact that I believe is somehow a rumor recently you'll be hearing about the congresses, maybe they are thinking to take care of maybe by January, February or so. So when you look at it, all these are process or procedures that every member of a party is supposed to follow to become an executive or to become a leader in a party. There's no how one will just come under installations and start thinking maybe you want to take positions, and tomorrow you hear that he's the chairman, and a lot of indiscriminative activities and attitude will be going on. So these are what is happening in other party, but I believe ADC are sanitizing that. So me in ADC, I appreciate ADC always because I like their ideas, principles and procedures. And I believe the discipline in ADC is a discipline that I know even at home you can be able to get. So every person that is coming to the party must register and put his mind down to make sure that he is a disciplined person. Whatever you are seeking for, you have to follow the process and procedure stages of getting those things. You cannot just come from maybe through the window or through the roof and just say, I want to take position, unless you follow the process of congresses, process of primaries, process of whatever, before you become a normal executive. So the discipline in ADC is something to be very, very appreciating. And when you come to maybe seeking for a political position and you want to become an aspirant, the same thing too, you have to follow the process. Because right from all these things you're seeing over 6 months now that we are passing through the coalition process, or the 7 months now, we are still talking about membership registration and revalidation. Nobody is talking about any position. Anybody that come, want this, want that, no, we need to give us membership, we say no, it's revalidation. We don't even have any membership card on the ground. Whatever you're going to do now, hold on. Follow your distance. Go to your ward. Put your ward as a senior officer or senior person in the society or a stakeholder. Go to your ward. Resign from the party you are from. Register your name in the new list, just like the ordinary person is registering in the new list. When you register your name in the new list, book your name in your own ward. From your own ward, then they will shift it to the local government level, to the state level. So there's no how the state will start panicking to pick somebody that you are rich, because we just don't do that in ADC. The only thing we observe is to follow the process and the procedures, the stages, and to be well disciplined. So I believe ADC is a party that everybody would like to follow the channels.
There are lots of questions that I really want to ask, but I want to really plead that maybe we'll continue this conversation on the next program. I'll reach out to you, privately on that. But there are lots of questions that I have, and I know that there are lots of questions that Nigerians have. Unfortunately, my time is spent now, but I really want us to continue this conversation because of the many questions I still have to ask. Mr. Seidu.
So I'm grateful. I would love you to list most of your questions, and I'm ready to answer.
Okay, so
anytime you have time, you're welcome.
I'll reach out to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on this very short segment on Global Morning. Thank you, sir. The little time you spent here has been enlightening, and I wish you a very good day ahead.
Thank you. Happy season.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you, viewers. At this point, we begin to wrap up the show. We will wrap up in a bit, but don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
What's your problem? We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
All right, this is the point where we call it a wrap. I hope this morning's episode or this morning's show has, refreshed you and gotten you started for the day. Of course, Global Morning is a daily show and we'll still be up tomorrow, same time. Until we come your way again, this is me wishing you a beautiful day ahead. I still remain your host, Priscilla Obasi, and Ramsey is somewhere saying goodbye to you at this moment. Bye for now.